Hello, everyone. This is day one and round one of the Championnat de Paris, the Championship of Paris, the B section. And in the Masters section, Hu Yifan was playing the women's world number one right now. And so she's the favorite for the tournament. In the Masters section, I do believe she won today. My friend told me that she lost a pawn, or maybe sacked a pawn, who knows, and still won the game. So I haven't really looked at that yet, but we can take a look later. This is my first round of the day, and my opponent was Tetiana, rated 1865. So we do have a stronger opponent. We also have my cat trying to knock over my drink, and I'm currently at 1751. Playing the black pieces. So let's jump right into it. I would have been happier to see e4, but that's neither here nor there. Knight f3, so far so good. Oh my god, Eugene. Look guys, this is a cat. This is a cat, and he's making my life. He's making this video difficult. Okay, knight f3. I just opted for d5, and then e3. And I figured this was an opening. It just looks kind of strange to me. But like we're only on move 3. I'm playing an 1800. She probably knows what she's doing. I do just think it was interesting. The e3 blocking out the bishop. So anyways, I noticed that. I was already kind of out of real preparation here. Like I didn't prepare at all, but I'm out of theory essentially. I just know c5 is probably a playable move here and probably the best. So I just went for it. But yeah, I'm basically playing off of opening principles. Get your pieces developed. Attack the center. She's got a pawn in center. I'm gonna attack it. So that's what I'm thinking so far. B3, and then I understood. Oh, okay, so she's gonna fianchetto the bishop. That's why she's playing E3. So I went a bishop F5. And you know, I shouldn't have done this because I know it's like every time that I play this kind of setup and I go bishop f5, the computer doesn't like it, but I played it anyways. It looks like the computer here prefers d takes c4. Okay, d takes c4 or knight c6, and then of course you could go into stuff like this. Although wow, that would be a blunder actually. Okay, that was never an option. I was looking at that. So anyways, bishop f5, not great. But then this also not great. My opponent immediately plays knight e5. And so, you know, something to point out here, guys, for beginners, for intermediate players, really anyone, is essentially she's breaking opening principles. Yes, of course, the knight eventually wants to come to e5, but you've moved the same piece twice in the opening. And I knew there was some way to punish this, or I knew that this was not the best move. I was pretty sure. But I wasn't entirely sure on how to go about this for my next move. I'm not really in theory. So I went for just e6. Looks like the computer would have liked queen c7. I really did like the idea of queen c7 as well, because eventually I want to take and open up a c file. Anywho, e6, bishop d3. I saw that coming and decided to take here because this just seemed not really worth it. If I go knight e4, you can just go f3, though that doesn't work. Okay, maybe I should have considered this more. He has bishop check. That's a little bit, yeah, that's actually pretty annoying. Now I can't block, or I lose a pawn or a piece. So I took, took with the queen. Knight b to d7. Just develop my pieces here. Ready? Like I'm just focused on developing my pieces, making sure I'm not losing any pawns out of the get-go. I saw that f4 was probably the follow-up. I decided to go for c takes at this point. Just no longer have this as a liability, but also I wanted to open up the c file. Let me put this down here really quick. And then I jump my knight into e4, and I'm actually surprised to see the computer likes this move, because to me, I'm still thinking, hey, look, my opponent has kind of broken some opening rules. Her position looks fine, but let's try to just like, oh my god, guys, I have got to take care of my cat. Hold on. Okay, and we're back. So, yeah, c takes, e takes, knight e4. I, of course, can go knight f6 if I want to. Probably f5 is better. And at this point, I was thinking, okay, clearly White's plans are either going to be to play f5 or c4. And castle's first, so I thought that was probably a good move. And then here I opted for bishop d6. I did want, it was basically between like rook c8, bishop d6. I was even thinking about some tricky lines where I put the queen here and end up like taking the knight and then having it be pinned. But anyways, and then also just doubling up on the c file. So I opt for bishop d6, just get my last minor piece developed here. Computer bishop e7. It prefers bishop e7. It's interesting. Also looked at that move. All right, knight d2. This move makes sense. I had a couple thoughts here. I needed to stop f5. I felt like f5 just could not happen. If I play f5 myself, then yeah, this guy's never coming out of here. But then again, neither is my guy. So I went for f5. Looks like the computer thinks it's okay. Knight takes d2 was also an option. Considered that as well. She plays knight d to f3. I have this backwards pawn on e6. I wasn't really entirely sure if that was good or bad. Kind of a stonewall setup. All I knew is that I was planning on trying to take advantage of the c file. So here I go rook c8. If I can stop him playing, her playing c4, I will certainly try. Stick a piece there, maybe. Bishop e2. When I face an opponent that isn't going for rapid development, usually I can spot opening mistakes like that, and you can try to capitalize and gain some momentum simply because they're underdeveloped. And I did feel like she did not. She broke some opening rules there, and she had a slower development. Not to say that her position was bad, but as you guys can see, black is actually... Oh, as you guys cannot see, hold on, let me switch the view here. Oh, dear Lord. Black is 0.6. So black is a little bit better here. Castles. C4. And so, yeah, I was expecting this move, contemplating how to deal with it. But, you know, worst case, I figured, well, she takes, I take back, and we just literally have a symmetrical situation here. I started kind of cracking, I think, my time. So let me just show you guys, give you some perspective here. This is move 14. I was not as great with my time management. She was at 51 minutes, and I was already down to 36 minutes. So, like, I'm down to 36 minutes on move 14. And so, yeah, I'm like, okay, you know what? I am not going to lose on time or get into time pressure. So I made kind of a, not a silly move, but yeah, kind of a silly move. Takes, and then queen b5. So, of course, because I was playing faster, I didn't see this move coming. I, after some calculation, saw that it wasn't the end of the world. I'm losing a pawn, but if she takes this pawn on b7, well, that pawn is often poisoned. In this case, it's not, but your queen is kind of in a weird position. So I just went for knight f6 and said, hey, I'm going to keep this pawn. You take that if you want to, and I'm going to go rook c2. She did that, rook c2, and now it's like, okay, I'm a pawn down, but I have slightly better activity, I would say. I mean, I have a rook sunken in on the c file, but I have to be careful. So time is still kind of an issue here. I continue to take my time. We're floating around 30, 35 minutes here. Bishop c1. I don't know if like this move looked kind of strange. In the game, I understood it, but now looking at the computer saying it's a mistake, it's like, yeah, what is this move? So yeah, here I opted for queen c8. I'm going to just try to take over the c file completely. Yeah, okay, I figured if queen here, then I will... What's the move here? I had my eyes on this move knight c3, and I thought it was pretty tricky because let's just take a look at this. Knight c3, if she takes, she loses on the spot because of this. And I thought knight c3... queen there, knight e2. Oh, it still works. It still works because the rook is being attacked, but we can throw this move in and it's protected by the rook. So I had my eyes on this knight c3 move, and basically, guys, this was the turning point in the game. So we're here. She trades queens, and I'm like, you know what? I'm down to... She has 39 minutes. I'm down to 28 minutes, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start just playing fast. I felt like kind of nervous. I felt like, okay, my opponent is better rated than me, and some of that started to get to me, and just losing a pawn. Like, I don't like losing pawns, especially if I don't know 100% my position is better. So I started to, like, not get angry, but I was like, you know what, screw this. Let's start playing fast. I'm not going to be defeatist. I'm not going to be passive here. Let's go. And so I started playing much faster, and it actually seemed to have put some pressure on her. But also, guys, if I'll show you real quick here. Sorry, I have to show you like this, but black's winning. Like black is up 2 points here. I'm straight up winning, and I don't know why I didn't see this enough. I knew I was better here. I was pretty sure I was better because, hey, like she's got the 2 pawns here, but I can stick a bishop here on b4, and nothing's moving on the queen side, and you're not attacking my bishop anytime soon. And I control a rook on the c file. I control the c file. I've got these beautiful knights. Bishop's not too bad. Anywho, A4, and I went for knight c3, still with the same idea of going knight e2 check. She goes bishop d2. I did see that move, and I opted for bishop b4. There's a trap here. If she doesn't do anything, then I have check, and I win the bishop. But she decided to take the knight, which I thought was a good idea. I went rook takes c3, and actually, earlier on, guys, if I had gone, let's see here. Yeah, if I had gone rook c3 here, black is absolutely dominating. I don't know why I didn't think about this move, but like absolutely dominating. I'm putting pressure on b3. I don't even know. So rook d1, you got to defend this somehow, and then bishop b4. Oh, that's a funny move. Okay, so we just get this position. I suppose it's way better. We go for this, and we get a similar position. The rooks are doubled up. I thought this was pretty good. I jump the knight in e4. Yeah, so he's got to play rook b1 to protect the pawn. I get to this position, and I'm like, look, I've got to be better here. I've got to be at least a little bit better. Even with that pawn down, we almost can't notice because of this. Thank God for this bishop. She starts cracking. I notice she starts to like, you know, when someone makes the move and they go like, either they take it and they're like, and they do like that, you know, and they're like, yeah, aggressive move, or they take the pawn or the piece, whatever, and they go like really delicately, like, I'm fine. These things are funny. I notice these things, and I think that she clearly started noticing that now it's move 24. I have the time advantage. I switched it. Not only do I have a better position, I'm up on time. I was feeling good. H3. I took some time to think here, but I still wanted to keep the time pressure on her. Move looked wrong to me, clearly because of knight g3, but let's see. Yeah, the computer likes knight g3, so knight g3 hits the rook, and there was some calculating to do here because my idea was knight g3 and then potentially knight e2 check, pick up the pawn. These rooks are gorgeous, and I might eventually get a knight like here and be able to take with check. Just looked great to me. I basically calculated just a couple moves, one of which was rook f2, and she played that. I immediately played knight e2 check. I knew this was the best. I felt good. I was like, okay, she plays that. I've already seen that. Boom, let's go knight e2 check. Thank you for the pawn. Now I've gotten my pawn back, and I have a better position. Just have to convert here, and we're encouraging trades. Sorry. Rook takes, and man, like rook takes, this pawn is pinned. White has to address this, or I'm taking that with check or with the knight. And she plays knight h4. And here, guys, is where I'm a little bit disappointed in my performance. The computer looks at this and says, what? No, this is not working. But, the problem is I obviously can't take now. If I go here, she grabs the pawn on f5, which is fine. Actually, now it's immediately equalized. Right away, I saw this move, but then saw that this was hanging. And then I thought, well, okay, g6, and that looks fine, but kind of slow. She can't move the pawn, so like it's kind of there's not much white can do here. You gotta keep the knight here to protect the pawn on g2. And I don't know why I didn't play this. I didn't just play g6, strap down all the pawns, maintain this threat on g2. I don't know why I didn't do this. I went for bishop c3. I thought, oh, I'm just going to attack this pawn, and that was just clearly a mistake. So here, move 28. We are down to some time pressure. I'm down to 22 minutes, so I think I still had the time advantage, but I just started playing a little bit too fast here. So bishop c3 gives up the pawn for really no reason. Okay, I get the pawn back with knight takes g2, but then after king g3, actually my knight is kind of in a bad spot. I can't go here or here or here. Not great, not loving it. I can go here, but that looks weird. So I took a pretty long time to think here, and I've ended up playing bishop e1, which happens to be the best move. It's kind of interesting. And now all of a sudden I was like, I wonder if there's potential mate threats if this king gets a little bit too close. We've got, after all, a knight, bishop, and a rook. It could be possible, and a couple pawns. But this was tough. Now I felt like it was even, which I was correct in. I felt like, okay, this is kind of anyone's game now. I went for rook f2 because I wanted to go rook f4 check. And I actually started looking at some mate threats here. Just overlooked. This is where I started choking, and basically just overlooked that. I saw that she had knight e7 check. For some reason, I did not see that after check and then takes, she covers the f4 square. And that was the big problem. So we're roughly even here, and then now white's slightly better. She spots it. Now I'm actually losing, and I missed this. So here, guys, king g3. Right, okay, so rook f6 check. But he takes the, like, he literally takes my knight. She takes my knight. So I did not even realize this, because if I'm not careful here, that is literally a smothered checkmate if my rook weren't there. She missed this, and she grabbed on d5. We're both, you know, in a time scramble now. I played g6, creating some luft, but also wanting to take away the light squares, because I have the dark squares here that the bishop can maybe take away. I was already looking at this, and it's kind of a shame, because I could have gotten, not lucky, but, you know, I was really looking like, okay, if I take away these squares, he can't go king here, because he walks into discovered attack. I take the rook. Like I'm taking some squares away here and could be threatening mate. So h4, that made some sense. Create some escape squares for the king. I go rook e2, rook c1. I saw that coming. Okay, why not grab the c file, threaten check. The kind of scary with the two knights as well. I decided to trade off a pair of knights here. Maybe it wasn't the best decision, but I thought these two knights were just kind of scaring me. So takes, and after all, I am hitting, you know, I'm doing something with my rook. Rook check. This is actually a mistake. Rook c8 check. King g7, rook check. I was thinking about this, but then rook f7 check. King e6. It looks like this is actually okay still for black, but I just thought, I'm not entirely sure. Like check, takes, I don't know. So I went back. I went king g8, which is the best move actually. Like, okay, we'll see if she wants to repeat. She didn't. She goes knight f3, attacks my bishop. I was looking for some tactics. Like, okay, the knight's there. King's defending the knight. Might be some ideas in the future of sacking the rook. The rook is on a dark square. If I, you know, get the dark square bishop. Anyways, I was really getting low on time here. So here we're down to 5 minutes to 8 minutes. So she now has the time advantage. D5. I go rook d3, threaten the pawn. Rook d7. Thank you for b3. I figured, okay, this pawn is going, but it's not making there just yet. And if I needed to, I could sack the bishop. I take the pawn. Bishop b2. My idea here was to maybe reroute the bishop. What was my idea here? Oh, you know what? No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm literally threatening checkmate. That was my idea here, I think. Here, and let's say she makes one wrong move. Checkmate. I was so happy when I saw this. I was keeping my eye on checkmate threats for a while now. I played g6 for a reason. And I thought, man, it is totally possible for her in this time scramble to be focused on this d-pawn, make one wrong move that isn't check, and blunder mate. I play this, just for an example here, boom, mate, because these squares are covered, these dark squares are covered, all of those squares are covered, and it's literally checkmate. That would have been awesome. Unfortunately, that's not how it played out. So I played bishop d2, which is the best move. Knight f3. I figured she would go back with the knight. And then I went for rook b4 check. Bishop's now hanging, so I spotted this move. I thought, okay, I'm going to make your king go back. No, get your king out of here. You can't really go here. Well, I guess you could, but it doesn't look... h5. Oh, mama. Okay. Anyways, I didn't think that she would play that move, and she didn't. So king h3. I take another pawn. And now it's just a flat draw. The computer, let me show you guys. Computer evaluates this as 0-0, basically. d6, which is an inaccuracy. Rook a3, pins the knight, forces, it's a forcing move. I go bishop h6. Wasn't really sure what to do. It's not like I can't go here. I can't take the pawn. I could go all the way back, but I just wasn't sure. So here it looks like actually rook a4 is a good move. I went all the way back because I was thinking of rerouting the bishop and putting some pressure and being able to block with the bishop as well, block any checks. Rook d8 check, king f7, knight e5 check. I saw this all, calculated all, and I thought, oh man, she's going to go for this. She's going to get some stuff where she pushes. I can't take that pawn. I can't take the knight. Now I'm in some trouble. I thought I was losing already here. I thought the pawn was queening no matter what. I think that she did too, but it's not. It's actually not, guys. You can see the eval bar is still even there. We are down to a matter of seconds. I'm playing down under a minute here, and it's just go, 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 go. And so king e6, d7, I start panicking, clock is ticking, rook a4 check, king h3. I thought maybe I'll have a perpetual check, but no, because the king can just, you know, go like this. But I thought, well, but maybe one of these squares shall mess up, and I have like a check, pick up the knight, then check, and then I take. Anyways, I give a bunch of checks. I'm starting to feel pretty discouraged. And then here, I'm down to like 15 seconds, and she has 4 minutes, and I have no idea that this is still like technically even. I just figured, yeah, like no matter what I do, I can't escape this. I can't take the pawn, and rook e8 check is coming, and then d8 queen is coming on the next move. I can't stop it with the bishop. I can't really stop it with the rook, but actually I can. And I'll just show you guys the continuation here really quick. So let's see. King takes e5 is where I needed what I needed to play. King takes e5. Rook e8 check. I go here. There's no checks with queen. Boom. Queen. Check. Thank you. And it is now 3 pawns to 1 with the bishop. I can... This is much doable. Much more doable. This is totally even. I had a matter of seconds on the clock. And actually, guys, right here, I believe, was it right here or after I played king d5. The clock died. Like, the clock just turned off. And she was like, my opponent was more upset about it than I was. I don't know why. Because after this move, it's clear that white is winning. So she's kind of talking with the arbiter. The arbiter was like, oh, I don't know what happened. I looked away, and, well, I saw that you had 4 minutes, and he had, like, 30, 40 minutes or seconds. I don't know. I think it was, like, 15 seconds or whatever. My opponent started saying, yeah, but, you know, also we can't know. Maybe his clock ran out. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure my clock didn't run out. I'm pretty careful with that. I guess it's possible. But, like, the clock literally just shut down. So that's why it's like, no, when the time runs out, it blinks, it makes some noises, whatever. It doesn't just shut off. So, but I was losing here anyway. So we get it sorted out. She's like, okay, do you both agree to put 4 minutes and then 15 seconds? I'm like, you know, go ahead. This is losing anyways, 15 seconds or not. So we start up again, rook e8 and rook a3 check, king c2, king e4. The computer somehow is like, yeah, this is a good move. It literally walks into a discovered attack. It's just losing now. So I offered, you know, I just said, okay, I resign, shook her hand. Yeah, so all in all, I would say I'm glad that I put up a fight. This is, after all, a stronger rated opponent. Another one of my friends had told me that he sees her, she plays in like all these tournaments. So she's a pretty strong player. Maybe I should just be happy that I almost beat a pretty strong player. She is, after all, closer to 1900. And yes, of course, I'm upset that I was winning. I definitely was winning at one point in there. And then I had another chance to draw or maybe win back here by going, you know, takes, then king f5. But hey, with like 15 seconds on the clock, it's kind of hard. So that's round one. I'm trying not to take all of this tournament like too seriously because I haven't even prepared that much. Honestly, guys, I'm really just like, if I fall into opening theory, I'm great. That's great. I'm going to play the theory. But if I don't, I'm just going to play good chess. I'm just going to follow the opening principles, develop your pieces quickly, don't move the same piece twice, control the center, you know the drill. Because the fact is, even at this level, most people still are breaking a lot of those rules. And so, yeah, usually you can just get pretty good positions if you get fast development, and that's my goal, and to just have some fun. So I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for the next video. I will still be doing the Rapid Series 2000 and all that good stuff. Like and subscribe if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, guys.